Chad here, one half of the We Used to Talk About This at Work podcast, doing a solo review of The Flash. So, I got an opportunity to see the movie a little bit early, and just want to put it out there before I even get into it. I had no intentions of going to see this movie. I do not approve of Ezra Miller's behavior. I do not approve of Warner Brothers and their sweeping Ezra Miller's behavior under the rug. And before the movie came out, I said that, you know what, I'm just not going to support it with my money. But like 90 minutes before the screening, Warner Brothers sent an email saying, hey, you want to come out? And I was like, okay, well, I will go and see it because cards on the table. I wanted to see this movie, but I did not want to support it financially. So I went to a free screening. With that being said, I saw The Flash. The plot is essentially like a loose adaptation of Flashpoint, where the Flash goes back in time to stop the murder of his mother. And when he gets back to the present, things are not the same. This movie was a lot of fun. It was funny. It does get into some points where, Doctor Who reference, there's some timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff, especially when they explain why the paradox and everything happened with him coming back and there's two of him and all that stuff. I do want to say Ezra Miller was really good in this movie. Ezra plays more than one character, and at points you do forget that this is the same person acting against themselves. So I do commend Ezra Miller for that. Sasha Calle was so good in this movie as Supergirl. I really hope that James Gunn keeps her and she gets to be in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. It's an excellent comic book. I talked about it on our 2022 Best of episode, and I could totally see her in that role. She has a lot of the elements of comic book Supergirl. She is Superman's cousin, but she has an edge to her. And you really feel that in the movie. Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons get a great send-off as Bruce Wayne and Alfred. And you could kind of feel like this is probably going to be the last time you see them. And it's a great way to see them off. Michael Keaton returns, and he is just, you can tell he is having so much fun being back in the role. And it's just so good to see him back. There's so many moments of like fan service to his movies that don't feel like they're stopping the movie to like make a reference to something, or except for one time. One time they do it and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. But all the other times, like just light spoilers, they bring back How Much Do You Weigh, from 1989 Batman. And like in the moment you're like, he said the thing. And then they answer the question. He does some other stuff and you're like, what is happening here? And then he does the thing and you're like, you're just jumping out of your seat. This is a really good time in the movie theater. There's a lot of references to nerd things that are deep cuts. There's a repeated reference to a movie that is pretty famous, but not, it's somewhat common knowledge that a certain actor that was in the movie was recast like early on in the filming and someone else replaced them. And in this alternate universe, that actor didn't get replaced, and they just keep referencing the movie and that actor. And it's absolutely hilarious if you get it. There's some deep cut DC comic book movie references, like not of the DCEU, but like outside of that, where you're like, I can't believe that one, this actor agreed to do this, and two, that they did this. This truly felt like a summer movie. Not really sure. This is pretty high up there in my personal ranking of DCEU movies. It might be my favorite, if not at least in the top 3. I'll have to revisit the other ones. But here's the thing. Do I recommend this movie? Because I've been nothing but positive about this movie. Yes, the explanation of the time travel stuff is stupid. It is completely stupid. But, by the time they explain it, you're either with the movie or you aren't. I don't recommend this movie because I don't think that we should support Ezra Miller and Warner Brothers and all this. Like, Ezra Miller should have been replaced before this movie was filmed. And because there was already some stuff out there, they ignored it. The film was finished and then more stuff came out. And so they were kind of stuck because Ezra Miller's in every single scene of this movie. Sometimes it's more than one character. So you could not have easily got somebody to just digitally replace Ezra Miller. So while I did love this movie, I can't say you should spend your money on it. That's up to you. Please like, subscribe, follow the podcast on your platform of choice.